Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alrighty. Sorry. Okay, perfect. All right. Imagine a new mother who is forced to go back only weeks after giving birth because her family can't afford to lose her paycheck. Or think about the father who has to miss his child's first steps because he has to put his work first. This isn't rare, it's real for millions of Americans right now. In the US, it stands out as the only industrialized nation that does not have federal policy for paid family leave. For many, life's most critical moments like birth, illness, and loss are met with stress and financial insecurity, not support. That's why the United States federal government should require paid family leave for all employees. This policy would help families during significant life moments, improve productivity at work, and bring the U.S. in line with the rest of the world. Today, I will describe the issue of unpaid leave and present a solution, and then lastly talk about the big benefits of this policy this policy would have. First, the lack of paid family leave leaves millions of Americans really vulnerable. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, around 25% of mothers in the U.S. return to work just only about 2 weeks after giving birth because they can't afford unpaid leave. This leads to lots of physical and emotional strain during what should be a time of bonding and recovery. Next, while the Family and Medical Leave Act, also known as the FMLA, I believe, gives some protection, it only guarantees unpaid leave and excludes about 44% of workers due to eligibility requirements. Whenever they're ineligible, it just doesn't work. It's very, very strict. For example, if you haven't been with your employer for over a year, so if you've been with them for less than a year, or you only work part-time, you are not eligible and you're not covered. This leaves a lot of people, especially low-income people and minority workers, without a plan in place. And lastly, the U.S. is an outlier on the map of the world. According to a report by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the U.S. is the only wealthy nation that doesn't mandate a paid family leave. Countries like Sweden, Canada, and Japan offer great policies, and their economies thrive because of it. It is clear that the lack of paid leave isn't just a personal problem, it's a national issue. Clearly, the current system is failing lots of families. So how can we fix it? The solution is pretty simple. The federal government should adopt a paid family leave policy for the nation. The policy would require all employers to provide at least 12 weeks of leave for family and medical needs. And that would be financed through a shared system, kind of like Social Security. Here's how it would work. First, employees and employers would contribute a small percentage of their paycheck, which totals about to be $2, and they would put those into their wages into the National Paid Leave Fund. Also, according to the National Partnership for Women and Families, a system like that would cost, like I said, around $2 for the average person, $2 a week. So that's about less than a coffee when you think about it. So it's pretty affordable. Second, the policy would be very inclusive. It would cover all employees, part-time or full-time, not just the part-time people, and if you've been under a year. And it would extend to caregiving, illness, and other life events, not just childbirth, like loss and other catastrophic events that happen. And then finally, we are not trying to come up with something new here. Like I said before, Canada and Sweden, both of them have already worked out programs like this that have paid leave, and they work just fine, that we could model our situation after. Sweden provides about 480 days of mandated, paid leave that both of the parents can actually split. And then their economy is considered one of the strongest in the world. So using this same approach, the United States can create a system that is very effective. And if we were to implement this policy, the paid family leave, families would experience lots of less financial stress during important life events. According to a 2021 report from the Brookings Institution, paid family leave reduces poverty rates on families with newborns by around 10%. It also improves mental health outcomes for both parents and their children because parents can focus on their families and without having to think about work. Employers could then also have better employee retention rates because their employees are more likely to stay. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, businesses offering paid leave report about a 25% reduction in employee turnover. So they're keeping their employees because replacing employees is also expensive, and it can take up over 200% of the annual salary that the corporation makes, the business makes, and then by investing that in paid leave, they can save lots of money in the long term. Finally, society also benefits. Healthier families rely less on government support programs, which saves taxpayers lots of money. The long-term implications are very positive for the children. They will have a better chance to succeed academically and then economically later on in life. When we invest in the families now and today, we are investing in a stronger future workforce and economy. In summary, we went over the problem of unpaid family leave. We went over a practical solution through federal paid leave policy, and we went over the benefits a policy like this would bring. Paid family leave is not just a luxury. It is a necessity that strengthens families, businesses, and society. Now it is time to act. If you believe in supporting families in life's most critical moments, I ask you to contact your congressional representatives today. You can do that by going to paidfamilyleave.org, and you can get your representative's contact and then urge them to support federal paid family leave legislation. Together, we can build a future where no one has to choose between their family and their livelihood. Thank you.